What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Blunt and Sports Talk. Back again with the video. Day 5 of training camp. You know I got to give a quick recap. Just real quick, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. Of course, I'm going to keep doing these updates throughout training camp ever so often. And I will be bringing back the live stream again soon and very soon. Pay attention to your timeline. I'll probably drop an announcement about what day I'll start doing it on. I don't know, Wednesday will still be the day or not. I'll play it by ear. But I'm going to start cranking them up again, you know what I'm saying, with the action starting to speed up because these videos are just me kind of talking and conversational anyway. So I like the live stream. We get a little bit more interaction. But without further ado, let's get into it. You know we got to start with the offense. The offense, and most likely we start with what they had focused on today was the red zone. You know, the red zone is a crucial part to the game. You know what I'm saying? We do have a reliable kicker and Graham Gano, however, he slipped up a few times last year, i.e. Detroit, games like that, where those points end up costing you, whether there's an extra point or a traditional field goal. However, you want to be good in red zone. You want to score touchdowns. You know, Ron Rivera always talks about how field goals will get you beat, period. And he's right. You know, because the game is so slanted towards the offense, a field goal is a win. You know what I'm saying? When a team actually gets the ball into the red zone, a field goal is a win for the defense. So we have to get better at scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And let me remind you how the year we went to the Super Bowl in 2015, we were the number one, Cam Newton was the highest rated red zone quarterback in the NFL. And that included his running and throwing, you know what I'm saying? Because he's such a threat with both of those that it puts a lot of pressure on the defense, even though it's a smaller area. But this is that time of year, of course, when you run the red zone practice, that you want to get more situational football anyway, you know what I'm saying? Because, okay, yeah, you want to put in the plays and get it and stuff like that, but you want to put these guys in different situations that may come up in the league. That way these guys aren't making bonehead plays when it comes up. Like if it's a 2-minute drill, these guys will know that, hey, we have 2 minutes. I know that we may have X amount of timeouts. We need to get out of bounds when we're doing this. Or if it's the red zone, they know that, hey, it's 3rd and long or whatever. If there's nothing there, let's take the check down or let's take the underneath route. That way we make the field goal a more manageable down versus taking a sack or throwing it in completion. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go broke making a profit. So you got to make good decisions in those situations. So putting these teams in these environments where they have to think on the fly and do stuff is going to make them just that much smarter. Now it's better when it comes to gameplay. However, it seemed like the offense is pretty efficient today in the red zone, so that's good to hear. The defense, they didn't really talk about with them. They did make some plays, but they didn't give a whole lot of depth on that. But it seemed like all 3 quarterbacks in all 3 groups had success, from Cam to Kyle Allen to Will Greer. So I'm pretty happy about that. It seemed like a lot of players got involved. Curtis caught one. DJ had a miraculous one-head catch that probably was the catch of the day, obviously. And it seems like between DJ and Curtis, these guys have been making plays, and this 1-2 punch is going to be ridiculous. I can't really wait to see what these guys do when they get a chance to spin against some opponents, i.e. Buffalo, when we start scrimmaging them next week, I think, is when the scrimmages come up. Anyway, red zone today was pretty good, so I'm satisfied with that. But just to keep talking about the offense a little bit, of course, Cam Newton had a little conversation with Peter King from Monday Morning Quarterback, and he just talked about one of the main ideas from the thing was that he felt like he didn't have to be Superman anymore because they put a lot more help around him. And we've seen Cam Newton carry not a garbage team. I'm not going to slight them like that. But we've seen Cam Newton take a bunch of nobodies to the promised land and almost win a championship. You mean to tell me that his best weapon on offense was Ted Ginn Jr., who had double-digit touchdowns that year and was the leading receiver on the team for touchdowns? He took them to the Super Bowl. Of course, they got exposed against a team with good covered corners in the pass rush. However, he did a lot of the heavy lifting when it came to that team. Now, they've started to make that move. Not just this year, but starting with Christian McCaffrey. That pickup was the reason that they wanted to take a lot more pressure off of Cam. I was thinking they were going to take Leonard Fournette that year instead of Christian, because I thought they wanted to get another Jonathan Stewart-like back. But Christian McCaffrey can do a lot of different things, and like I said, he's a check-down monster. Cam Newton really wasn't a big check-down guy until Christian got there, and now he got Christian 100-something catches as a running back. So he's utilizing those parts. Not to mention they have a lot of guys that are good with the ball in their hands. That way to make it easy. North Turner has an offense that's pretty easy to operate in. He's just a good play caller. There's a lot of crossing routes. There's a lot of quick stuff for guys to make those plays after the catch. There are some deep shots in there, so you'll get those for sure. North does like to go deep, but he also is good at orchestrating and getting guys open in these scenarios. So Cam Newton will be more of a point guard I mean, he was already more of a point guard guy. He's the guy that passes along. However, instead of being a Russell Westbrook where he tries to do everything, he'll be more of a Chris Paul or guys like that. That's more of a distributor that's gonna pass the ball to everybody else and let everybody else do their thing and set them up in opportunities to be successful. So I'm excited to see this. Cam, Dorp talked about how Cam is still going to be Superman. Like when it's crunch time, it's 3rd and 4 or 3rd and goal, you still know Cam's going to do Cam-like things in those scenarios. So they're not going to completely change his game because him running is his edge. So, I mean, that's not going away. I mean, he is what he is. The running part of Cam's game is what makes him him. So he's not going to change that part of it, guys. So all you guys tell him he needs to stop running, pipe down a little bit. But just a little last quick tip. Elijah Holyfield, they talked about him staying at the practice, putting in extra work. He is an undrafted free agent, so it's going to be an uphill climb for him to make the team. I know, yes, he has the name recognition and the brand recognition because his dad is the real deal himself, the champ. You know what I'm saying? Real deal Holyfield. However, there's going to be a lot of stiff competition at running back. Of course, we know Christian's the man, but they brought in Jordan Scarlett, who's also a power-like back, similar to Elijah Holyfield. And the fact that Jordan Scarlett showed that he has great hands, going to make it even tougher for Elijah, which is why he was staying after practice, catching those passes because he's a similar power running back, and he showed some skills today in the red zone period, being able to have some effective runs during the red zone. However, if you're only on the field for predictable scenarios, you take away from the versatility that the offense has. You know what I'm saying? Remember how Jonathan Stewart was or C.J. Anderson was last year whenever they brought him in? You knew he was probably getting the ball because he couldn't really do a ton of different things. So you have to be able to have a bunch of skills to have. That way you're on the field. That way to keep the defense off balance. That way they can't key in on certain things. And that'll be the key thing for our team also, because that's why Christian is so great, because you never really know what he can do. He's a matchup nightmare in the passing game, but he's also proved that he can run between the tackles and he has the toughness to churn out those type of runs. But moving on to the defense, Ross Cockrell, that's the probably the biggest headline coming out was Ross Cockrell actually getting a look with the first team at safety. I think Galden started out, but Ross Cockrell did get some reps at free safety with the starters, which is pretty alarming. I had been harping about him playing and competing for the nickel position. If you've seen my previous videos, I've been talking about that. However, we never heard anything about that. This is the first thing we heard about him actually getting on the field with some quality reps. And Ron Rivera talked about how Ross Cockrell is such a smart football player, and I agree. I mean, anytime you're a good zone corner, you're going to be smart and instinctual and have pretty good ball skills, because you have to be disciplined to play zone versus man. Man, you're chasing your guy, you just play football. You get that guy in front of you, you got him. When you're playing zone, there's a lot more communication, passing off. You got to key off on certain routes, look at the quarterback, but also look at your receiver and be disciplined enough to maintain your zone. So that tells me that Ross Cockrell is a solid football player, because he was one of the highest rated zone corners before he came to Carolina when he was in with New York, the Giants, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Ron Rivera talked about how the big adjustment for him will probably be just getting used to being at that back position versus on the corner. He does have the ball skills, which is the reason why they liked him back there, because it felt like Ron Rivera said that he felt like the front seven was good enough that there will be a lot of opportunities for balls and plays to be made. He talked about how when in 2015, Kurt Coleman was able to get 9 interceptions because the pressure from the front four was pretty much ridiculous, and there were a lot of opportunities for the free safety to make plays, and he likes Ross Cockrell's ball skills to be able to take advantage of those plays. My thing is, the knock on him is he's light. He's 190 pounds. He's not that tall either, so you still got to play the run. It's not all about passing in the NFL. So how tough can he be able to hold up when it comes to being able to get in that box? Because we know there's some big-time running backs in this division, and they're no slouches. So you're going to have to make some tackles in open field and in the hole sometimes against some of these bigger guys. So I'm curious to see how he'll do against that. You know what I'm saying? But just another note on the defense. We haven't talked about Bruce Irvin much in any of my videos, so I want to talk about him. I know I've been talking about the big man Brian Burns a lot. However, just looking at and reading some stuff and listening to what I'm seeing and seeing what I'm seeing, Brian Burns seems like he has a little bit more developing to do when it comes to stopping that run, which is what I was saying at the beginning of the first video. But he's excelled in one-on-ones and his pass rush scenarios. But Bruce Irvin seems to be the vet that's been going out with the ones, and Brian Burns will definitely have to own that. Bruce Irvin has experience standing up and rushing and coming off the edge and stuff. He's a vet, you know what I'm saying? He played with the Seahawks. He played with Atlanta last year. So I think he has an edge just from experience-wise in being able to hold up against the run and the pass. So Bruce Irvin actually did have a splash play today. He hustled and ran down Christian McCaffrey, and plays like that are really inspiring for teams. You know what I'm saying? When you feel decimated by getting gashed by a run, but you end up getting the strip and causing a turnover. So those plays like that are why you need those type of vets on the field, because they have that never quit mentality and they're going to go hard every play. Not saying Brian Burns won't do that. However, I just feel like the experience that Bruce Irvin brings to the field, I think that could be a good way for him to be a starter and bring Brian Burns in on obvious pass scenarios, because you know he's at that get off and he's a great change of pace guy because he's so quick off the edge. He's so lean. He's able to bend and get around that corner. He can make plays. Like I said, I talked about him being possibly Von Miller 2.0 in my last video. I don't think it could be an overreaction. It may take a little bit of time, but I think from a pass rush standpoint, he can make that type of impact and maybe get some double-digit sacks. And maybe I'll make a video and talk about Brian Burns in particular. Injury-wise, Chris Hogan sat out of practice because he had a hurt back, and that allowed Aldrick Robinson, a guy that I pretty much forgot about, to get a lot of shine. And he's a fast guy. He opened up the defense a lot today, apparently, get stretching the field. And he made some plays, too. And I know he's a Vikings guy, so I think Norv is going to pretty much like him. He kind of has a little thing for his former Minnesota guys. So between him and Jarris, we'll see what's going on. They add another guy to that number 3 wide receiver mix between Torrey Smith, Jarris Wright, Chris Hogan, and guys like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, especially with Aldrick Robinson coming in. I didn't really expect him to be in the fold, but he has a ton of speed, and the more speed, the better. There's never been too much speed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never can have too much speed on the field, so I'm all for it, you know what I'm saying? So, but he was the only major injury from what I'm heard. Kyle Love, he actually returned after tweaking his quad. They said it was his leg, but they finally said it was his quad once he came back, so we got clarification on that. Just to add to that D-line depth. That's pretty much it, man. The Panthers will be off for Tuesday, of course, so they'll be back on the field again. And like I said, I'll be at FanFest. I'm going to try to vlog. I know I've been talking about vlogging for the longest, but this seems like no more perfect low-key scenario than for me to vlog than there. I may even try to live stream if you guys are with it. If you want me to live stream, let me know if you want to see it, but I'll definitely probably try to vlog while I'm there. And I'll maybe try to drop a video. Maybe I'll even see some of you guys there. Who knows? But without further ado, you guys make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to make sure you get the notifications for all the videos, because this YouTube algorithm, they're changing stuff up like every day, and I don't even know what to do with it. So some of you guys are seeing the videos, seeing the notifications. Some of you guys aren't. So it's pissing me off, but it is what it is. You got to roll with the punches. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys like the video. If you like these type of videos where I'm doing, just kind of giving you a recap, let me know down below in the comments if you want me to keep them up. Otherwise, I can flip it into a live stream. Who knows what it can go to if we have enough people. I can flip it into a live stream. So it is what it is. But welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel, the Panthers fans. Thank you, guys. I'll be dropping some more NFC South content. I know some of the other guys are probably a little upset because I've been a homer since all those Saints fans that are subscribed like to call me. But I'll be dropping some more NFC South videos coming up this week. And keeping up with the content. It's almost that time. Thursday is when the Hall of Fame game starts, so we finally get to see some football, even if it will be a bunch of scrubs and Matty Ice and the Falcons and all that. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you next time.